My name is Srinath Kalbag. Vigyan Ashram has a special significance for me. In my opinion, Vigyan, which means science, is really the search for science, search for truth, and it's an eternal search for truth. And Ashram represents a value system, simple living and I think. We believe that all the problems of India arise because of the faulty education system. The major fault of the education system is that it stresses words and languages rather than the basic experience. We find that 90% of the children who enter the primary school do not cross the school leaving examination. Therefore, we feel that these 90%, which represents a major population of India, if they can be rescued and be given a good system of education, then the progress of India will be much faster. The reason we are all having a residential system here is that initially we had day boarding also. In fact, majority were just coming for the day. Then we found that by coming here for only a few hours, maybe say 6 hours or 7 hours a day, 5 days a week or 6 days a week, we cannot influence them. It is necessary in our system that they also earn by doing a job on contract. So then they sometimes work even overnight till 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. So this opportunity wouldn't be there if they were to stay at home. In the learning process, we feel the best way is to actually do it under the guidance of somebody else who has learned that already. The education system that we have now, we had obtained it from the British. And my interpretation of that is, I call it the factory model. Initially, the production was being done at home. Then in the factory system with the Industrial Revolution, all the producers were brought together in one place called a factory. Now the earlier system of education could not cope up with this large number. So they developed a new system of education which was on the factory model. That is, all the students were classified according to age or according to their knowledge, put in a line, and a syllabus was made like a factory plan, and knowledge was put into their heads in one class and the other like that. And at the end they were examined, stamped and sent into the market like a product. But now with the information technology coming in, it is possible that we have new tools which can cope up with this. So we feel that with the use of the new tools that are now available from this information technology, we should be able to go back to the apprenticeship scheme where each person is learning at his own pace through his own effort, learning rather than somebody else teaching. When I mentioned that the existing education system is producing 90% dropouts, that is those in the primary school, they don't cross the SSC barrier. One might wonder, how does a system like this work? Any factory having 90% rejects would become bankrupt. But it is not happening here. Now this could be justified if we say that the raw material is very bad, therefore we have to screen out. But in this case, if we look at the so-called rejects, then we find that actually they are running the country. So most of I would say about 75 to 80% of the economy is run on with the support of these people. So these people are obviously good material. Then how did they manage to get this good training when they were thrown out of the school system? This we call the natural learning system. So this method, if we can implement it in the classroom, would it be effective? This was the objective of Vigyan Ashram, and we have done it, and we find it is extremely effective. In the process where we are saying that it is learning while doing in real life situation, we are using these dropouts. First we give them the training, then we have a scheme called Trainee Entrepreneurship Scheme. So if somebody wants to start his own enterprise, then what does he need? He needs skill training, we give that. Then he needs some capital so that he can start a business or his vocation. Now we say, instead you go and be an instructor in a school where all the facilities are there, and you use the school facilities for carrying out your business by giving services to the people. And at the same time, you have the students working with you so that they get hands-on experience. So this is the scheme that we have developed and we have been using for the past 5 or 6 years in about 23 schools apart from our own Vigyan Ashram. Now when these students who are who were dropouts are becoming the teachers, we find one problem. They are very good in doing, but they are not good in articulation. So we thought that we'll use a computer to produce the lesson, and we made the computer lessons. And when we made the computer lessons, we found that they are not only better than these dropouts, but they are better than the normal teachers also. The other part is the feedback system. Now for this we want to use the internet. Until recently we didn't have the internet ourselves in this village. But now the internet connection, we are ourselves going to give internet service to others. And in fact the cost also is very low, because many times people worry how can the computers reach the rural area. But we find that even today the multimedia computer per student hour, the cost is less than 1 rupee, whereas the cost of a primary school teacher is more than 2 rupees. And this difference will keep on increasing. Yes, the involvement of the community in education is important from many points of view. First of all, we are doing two things in a time. That is, we are doing the development of the community or the rural development. And at the same time we are giving education, and we are integrating the two in the sense that we are not giving the two activities as separate activities, but we say giving service to the community is itself learning about life. My vision for Vigyan Ashram is that I consider this as a sort of an invention, and I want this invention of a new system of education which helps sort of the community, the development of the area and the school and the children and all that, and which is also very low cost. I would like this to be developed and spreading all over. So that is my vision. But I have no vision that Vigyan Ashram should do all this. A good idea never dies. So if this idea is good, there will be many people who will accept it and maybe adopt it, modify it, and it should grow. Technology transfer is always very important. In fact, my nearly 20 years in Hindustan Lever, I was concerned with technology transfer from the research laboratory to commercial production. I was a student in USA, in Urbana, Illinois. In 1955 October or so, I returned to India. So at that time my professor Fred Kumerov there, he was wondering why I want to come to India when most of these students want to stay in USA. So I was telling him that I think my job is in India, I have to do something for the country and all that. Well, he accepted. I don't know how far he really understood it. But after I took my first job on the 1st of January 1956, I was 27 years then. So at that time, maybe because of my earlier, what we call sanskar, earlier background, I took a decision on the 1st January 1956 when I took the first job, that 27 years I had spent in as a student. I will spend another 27 years as a householder, doing the normal householder's job, what we call in our language as Grihastha Ashram. Then at the age of 54, I will take early retirement and do what I consider will satisfy my mind and my social obligations. Now from that point of view, I decided that I want to devote myself to the field of education. And I decided to start a place in this center in this Vigyan Ashram, Pabar, because this was a drought area, which means if I can do it here, it can be done anywhere in India, because drought is the major problem of India. Even heavy rainfall areas have no water outside the monsoon. So I chose Pabar and I came here and started this program on the 1st January 1983. Now it is almost 20 years. Myself and my wife, we are staying here, and both of us feel that this was one of the wisest decisions we took.